colorful plaster lump I made just for your relaxation enjoyment. And here, these are all the tools that I might use. I may not use all of them. These are just regular sculpting tools. The creature I'm going to uncover for you is one of the most endangered creatures in the world. I painted the outside of my plaster. I'm gonna go ahead and call it an egg. I painted the outside of it with casein paint and alcohol ink. Just because I felt like being a little creative. I was in kindergarten when I first learned about dinosaurs, and I went all in. I mean, I knew all the names of all the different dinosaurs. I knew when they lived, what they ate, which ones were herbivores. Is it herbivores or herbivores? I guess it depends on where you're from. Well, I knew which ones of them were herbivores and which ones were carnivores. And I kept mental stats on them the way you would your favorite athletes. Okay, now keep in mind, I was in kindergarten, so I would imagine things like, let's say if a triceratops and a stegosaurus got into a fight, which one would win? You know, I thought about things like that. But over time, the information changed about what we know about dinosaurs. For example, I learned there was this whole thing about this really big dinosaur. I think it might have been Stegosaurus, I don't know. It was so big that I learned it had two brains. It needed two brains so that one brain in its head would control its front half, and it had another brain in its butt that controlled its tail. But that's actually not true. I don't think there's any animals that have two brains. Comment down below if I'm wrong. And when I was little, in all the pictures I saw of dinosaurs, all of them featured really either having smooth reptilian skin, including the flying dinosaurs like the pterodactyl, or their skin would be armor-plated and scaly. We know now, though, that many dinosaurs actually had feathers and were the precursors of our modern-day birds. There were some dinosaurs some of the different fossils mixed up with the wrong animal. Like, people were getting Brontosaurus confused with the Potosaurus, and then now there's no such thing as a Brontosaurus. But as I was trying to look this up to make sure that what I was telling you was true, come to find out that in the paleontology community there are rumors about Brontosaurus making a comeback. So this is why I don't think that how we picture the Tyrannosaurus Rex is right. I mean, it doesn't, if you think about it, it doesn't make sense. It's got that giant head with that mouth full of teeth, and then it's shown with having like really, really ripped chicken legs. And the T-Rex, it, like any picture you see of it, it's always right in the middle of having a full-blown roid rage. But then you look at his skinny little forelegs and they make absolutely no sense. Like, can they even reach his face? That whole animal, it just seems so out of proportion to have such tiny little spindly legs. So I'm willing to bet that one day some paleontologists are going to publish some new evidence about the T-Rex, proving that those tiny little scrawny forelegs were not accurate at all. Just wait. Your great-grandchildren will tell you about this new information about the T-Rex, and you can tell them that you heard it from me for the first time right here on an ASMR video. Okay, you know what? I think now I'm gonna have to lighten this mood a little bit. I say it's time for a joke break. A dinosaur joke break. Alright, are you ready? Are you ready for it? Alright, here it goes, here it goes. What do you call a dinosaur who is always on time? A Brontosaurus. Alright, back to what I was talking about. When my kindergarten teacher went over that whole chapter about dinosaurs, she mostly concentrated on just the land reptiles. And she told us, I think only about one of them that flew, the pterodactyl, the one that begins with a P, the pterodactyl. There's many more that fly, obviously. I just didn't learn about them. She also never told us about any of the prehistoric creatures that live underwater. So I really didn't learn about the prehistoric ocean reptiles and prehistoric fish until a few years later. Maybe I think I might have been in middle school or elementary school. And my class went on a field trip to a museum. And I saw the prehistoric ocean creatures exhibits. Those creatures, to me, were truly frightening. You had creatures over 60 feet long that look like something out of a nightmare. Like a cross. There was one that looked like a cross between a whale and an alligator. There were such a thing as ocean-dwelling scorpions that were over 8 feet long. And this thing, what this thing. Right, look at that right there. Like, why? Just why is that? What is that? A saw blade? I don't. Nothing about this creature makes any sense to me at all. Okay, you know what this means, don't you? I have to tell another joke. So it's time for another joke break. Are you ready? Here we go. What you get? I'm sorry, I'm laughing. These are so stupid that I can't help but crack up. These are, oh my god. Okay, I'm trying to keep a straight face. Here we go. What do you get? Oh my god, I'm too tired. I am too tired to keep, hold on, let me drink some tea. Keep watching me dig this thing out of this plaster thing. Hold on a second. Okay. What do you get when you cross a dinosaur with a kangaroo? A triceratops. And we're moving on with this story. So, this plaster object I'm digging into now contains one of those prehistoric ocean creatures I had mentioned before. However, this particular creature that I am going to unveil for you never went extinct. It still exists. It was thought to have gone extinct 65 million years ago. About the time of the dinosaurs, I guess you'd say. But this particular creature was discovered in 1938 off of the eastern coast of South Africa when it was caught by a fisherman, most likely entirely by accident, because one of the distinguishing features of this particular animal is it tastes terrible and is almost completely inedible to humans. It is believed that this animal was one of the ones that formed part of the evolutionary bridge between sea creatures and land dwellers. You can almost see part of it right there, and you can tell already that it's a fin. And there's several fins. This creature has several fins, but 4 of them in particular actually contain bones that resemble toe precursors. Another historic feature of this very unique fish are its scales. kind of like modified scales that are more like armor. They're called cosmoid scales, and they're only found on fish species that have actually already gone extinct. So this creature is the only living thing on this planet that still has that type of scale. They're woven really, really tight, like linking armor, and they're rough to the touch. And they're entirely, I think, a protective measure to protect the fish from predators and rocks and such. These guys they're large. They grow to an average length of about 6.5 feet or 2 meters. And they can weigh as much as 175 pounds or 80 kilograms. When they're in the wild, they have a deep blue color, which is thought to help camouflage them from predators. And their eyes are extremely sensitive to light. They like to hunt near very, very deep underwater volcanic slopes. And they hunt by swimming with their heads down, like almost upside down. And this allows them to use this special gland in their heads called a rostral gland that they use to find prey. It's hard for this guy to find food sometimes because it lives at such a deep depth. But what it does is it can slow down its metabolism so it can go for a really, really long time without eating. And that may be part of the reason why these fish survived so long and outlived all of their other prehistoric cousins. In their natural habitat, they live about 60 years. Oh look, this guy comes with a serial number. fish, but these particular guys as babies we call pups. And the mama coelacanth can have anywhere between 5 and 25 pups born at any given time. A coelacanth mom will be pregnant for 13 months, 5 to 25 babies, and she's pregnant for 13 months. That sounds crazy. And it is believed that coelacanths are unable to reproduce until they are 20 years old, because they want to make sure they have their affairs in order, I guess. Got that student loan paid for, got a good job, maybe some health insurance. But beyond that, other than that, very little else is known about the reproductive habits of the coelacanth. fish, and they swallow the other fish whole. Whatever they catch, they swallow whole, because they possess hinges in their skull that allow them to consume really, really large prey. Because of their extremely sensitive eyes, these fish prefer darkness. They are very rarely ever seen during daylight hours, or even on nights if there's a full moon. And they prefer living in colder water because their gills have trouble absorbing oxygen when the water's too warm. population is believed to be less than 500 animals. This means that without protection, this prehistoric animal that has survived for over 350 million years could be wiped out in our lifetime. You know what the irony is? The irony is this creature probably wouldn't be so endangered if it was tasty or useful to humans in some way. Because if it was tasty, humans would have farmed it already, and you'd be able to buy coelacanth fillets at your local grocery store. But they're not, and you can't, so that's why protections have to be put in place. Alright, that's it, everyone. Thank you for watching my video. Like this video if you did, and subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed already. I have more cool videos coming out about a variety of interesting themes and topics, and I really think you are gonna like them. So, ciao for now, everyone. And before I go, how about one more dinosaur joke? So, since Christmas is around the corner, here's a Christmassy themed dinosaur joke for you. What is a dinosaur's least favorite reindeer? Comet. And I'll see myself out. Good night.